Good morning, everybody. It's where it might be evening or afternoon for you guys when you're watching this. Anyway, it's the 43rd video, I think, of this series. Up under the bus, I've got I don't know if you can see over here, up in that corner, a little bit of glare kicking. But I pretty much got it cut all the way back beyond, just a little bit beyond the frame there on the bottom and top, but now I got it cut down the side, and this looks like it's welded in there, so I probably have to run a sawzall through there too to break that loose so I can get this chunk out, so I can drill some pilot holes through here and then be able to cut away with a grinder on the outside of the bumper and make a keyhole. I also need to clean all this stuff up. I got my little Ryobi light. This thing's cool, it swivels. But I got it pointed over here towards that corner so I can actually see what I'm doing. I got my cutoff wheel on a grinder. It doesn't have a guard on it because I can't fit it in that corner with that guard. I need every little square centimeter that I can afford. So when doing this kind of work in this tight confined space with hardly any elbow room and in little tight corners and stuff like that, just be super careful. Take it slow. There's no reason to rush through this, you know. It's gonna get done. Even if it takes weeks to cut one piece of metal, it's better than losing a finger or, you know, having it jump back and slash you across the face and make you ugly for the rest of your life. I'm already ugly enough as it is. So I'm gonna try to set a little time lapse and prop the phone up in here somewhere on selfie mode and see if I can make that work. If not, you know, I'll show you the end result one way or another. But thanks for joining me for another update. Trying to get through this back channel, this bumper, so we can put some our metal in there after I clean it up. Probably need to go get some more undercoat spray on there first, even though a lot of that will melt away if we do welding here. Anyway, thanks for joining me on another update, like I said, and I'll see you on the other side of this. So I got through that, peeling away, so I'm just trying to bend it back and forth. Bend. Yeah, I can't film this and do it at the same time. I'll show you the end result. This is only one side, I got the other side still working on. But yeah, there was that graphite, whatever that stuff is, welding, coal, flux, I don't know, who knows. But anyway, it looks raggedy, but from the touch, it's pretty flush right there. I'm gonna end up cleaning all this up with a grinder anyway. But I got this one last plate that's welded directly to the bumper on both of these ribs. It's got a gap back there, so I need to cut up there, and maybe when I get through there, it'll slice through the bumper and I'll have a guideline outside. So yeah, let me see what happens. Fresh grinder wheel on there, which means more dangerous, but sharp is better.
When the man said, "This is sublime," he appeared to be making a remark about the waterfall. Actually, he was not making a remark about the waterfall, but a remark about his own feelings. What he was saying was really, I have feelings associated in my mind with the word sublime. Or shortly, I have sublime feelings. Here are a good many deep questions settled in a pretty summary fashion. But the authors are not yet finished. They add, this confusion is continually present in language as we use it. We appear to be saying something very important about something. And actually, we're only saying something about our own feelings.
That's some strong welds right there. Yeah, that machine ain't messing around. That thing ain't budging. Oh boy. This is probably one of the most, well, I don't know, compared to the floor in there. I had to peel up, cut up, and get re-welded.
It's difficult to granted that such qualities as sublimity
bang on a couple times with a hammer and see if that helps.
From our own emotions, yet the emotions become prompt projection of their relatives. Therefore, almost the opposites of the qualities projected.
Oh boy. Quarter inch. I need a quarter inch. That's how thick the channel is. And this plate is heavy duty. I got through the bottom of it. That'll be the third Harbor Freight Drill Master that I burned through. I almost don't want to use it right now because it's more dangerous when it's faulty. But I'm just gonna run it to the ground. Wish me luck. Oh boy. Alrighty, let me see what I can do. Of course. There we go. Nah. Well, it moves a little bit on this side, but not enough. Nope. Oh, what's this? Getting in there. Alright. It is broken loose. Come on, baby. Come back. There we go. Feeling good about this. Well, that came off pretty easy. Yeah, show you what's up. Looking down the edge of this thing. I don't know, I think I'll stick a grinder wheel in there after I keyhole through the bumper. Now I need to make a mark right there. See where this metal's hanging out on the top? Maybe right under there at the bottom of this little relief on the bumper. See if I can cut a slot through there. and then stick a grinder through on the other side to make that nice and tidy. We have daylight. We have daylight. Alright, I wonder. Alrighty. So yeah, I can stick a sawzall blade through there and start slicing. Hopefully I can cut a straight line from out there. Anyway, yeah, I got through the bumper finally, and that's just one side. I've got to repeat this process to the other side there. Yeah, that seems pretty flush. You can really tell. Let's put something flush across it, like this. That seems pretty flush, so I should be able to just keyhole that out up to the top here and across, down to the bottom and across, and slide my metal right through there. Small progress, but good progress. Went through a few grinder wheels to where I didn't have any space. Well, yeah, looking good. So basically, the top of our deck's gonna come to like right there. I'm pretty sure that's the way it's gonna work. So yeah, it'll be a little high climbing up there. Maybe just keep a little step ladder underneath it to get access from the outside. But more importantly, it'll clear the doorway. And yeah, I think everything will fit in here nicely. Show Floyd in a second. I need something cold to drink. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get something cold to drink and come back and start attacking this other side. Yep, making progress. Thumbs up. I got my drink. Trying not to drink so much soda because it's poisonous, as I sit here with a cigarette in that hand. But yeah. Move that ugly cigarette. There we go. Doesn't mean I'm not smoking, but at least it doesn't look as ugly. So anyway, yeah, I get the seltzer water, any kind, but I like the flavored kind. Still sugar-free and everything. And then what I'll do is I'll add some homemade, home-style lemonade. You know, empty out half of it into another container or whatever, and add, you know, just a splash of lemonade. It gives it a little sweetness, actual real sugar, instead of the high fructose. And yeah, it beats soda by a mile. Way more healthy for me. Still, you know, good for the digestive because I need those bubbles. I get issues with IBS and stuff. But yeah, this is delicious. So try it. Yep. So I showed Floyd, and he said that'll be great. We got just enough space from the from the top of that slit to the bottom of the door where it swings closed to put in our 1.5 inch structure to the decking on top of our framework there, and also our composite deck, 5/4 composite. No, it's not 5/4, not 1/4. I think it's probably 5/8 thickness. Anyway, it's about 3 inches there, so plenty of space to come out the back door and be right on our deck. It's gonna be awesome. I might have to put a little step stool out back, you know, that we can get up and down from the ground, but it's much easier than trying to step into the bus like that and pull yourself up without a step ladder. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is measure from the inside, from one slit over, or from one side of the framework to the other, and make a mark with a paint marker. That way I can cut from the outside and not be in such a dangerous position under there. So we'll see how that goes. bad for your health. I say that every time. I'm drinking a beer because, wow. And yeah, the noise, sorry, I'm not turning that fan off. It is hot, and yep, got rained on again, and it's pretty cloudy and gray outside. But yeah, let me show you. My battery died in the middle of a time lapse. Not even sure if it's going to process or if I'll include it. If it is, you would have seen it just now. I'll close this door and show you. They're not in all the way. They're sticking out about 4 feet. They're only in about 8 inches. But got it all keyholed. Not the prettiest job by any means, but nothing a little paint and Bondo won't fix up. Once they're locked in there, we'll be good to go. I still have to grind all this stuff under there. You can see where the end of it is. So there's a little tab there that you'll see. It's just kind of holding it, but I can hammer it by that. But I'm not going to hammer it in until I pull these things out and grind all up under here, clean it all up, spray some heavy duty undercoating. But yeah, so basically made keyholes for these giant beams to slide 18 inches into the frame. As said before, you said not the best work, but it'll do. They fit in there. Once I may have to slice that one back just a little bit more, you know, over there. It's hard to film like this in selfie mode. Might have to slice it back on the inside so this comes out flush. This one's pretty much parallel with the bus, so this one's off a little bit. So yeah, that wasn't easy by any means. What happened? My beer's inside. Definitely dirty. Pretty gross. But another giant task. Not finished, but definitely, you know, chipped away at, and a huge improvement. Excuse me for a second. There we go. You'll probably hear me much better now. Yeah, don't smoke. It's bad for your health. It's one of the worst habits I have. I don't have many, but that's my one vice, and I do intend on giving it up one day. It's harder to stay quit than to just quit, because I've quit probably 3 or 4 times. You know, quitting's for losers, right? Well, smoking is also for losers. So if you smoke and enjoy it, it is a favorite pastime of many, but definitely takes people out. So same thing with beer. You know, nothing wrong with a good beer. I try not to drink cheap beer, and I'm a little bit of a beer snob actually. Love German stuff and Belgian beer and French beer, and Spain has some really good beers. Peru, Asia, you know, they get good beer in the United States. So happy to have my Heineken, cheaper than you know, getting 6-pack of bottles. It was a day. It was definitely a day. I helped Floyd out with his buddy. I forget his name already. I'm a jerk. Not Steve. Not Kevin. I don't know. His buddy that was in one of the last videos. I had to plug it back in. It'll stay recording, I think, as long as I don't run out of memory. So yeah, his buddy, Tree Man, has this old bucket truck that he's probably changed in 30 years' time the hydraulic pump on it 3 times. So once every good 10 years, the pump will go bad and the cylinders will get all worn out, and the thing will just stop swinging and stabilizing basically. So that's dangerous when you're up in the air working on trees. Really nice guy, his friend is, and you know, trying to get that clip out of there, and what a mission. I'm hammering with him and holding it and clipping everything, and we figured it out together, and finally we're able to get that clip loose from the inside. A very tight squeeze for his tools there, special tools, and inched it out, so that took a little while. And then I came out here and was working away, and the time lapse that I tried to record, don't know if it made it or not. It started pouring down rain. Checked my phone, the phone was dead. I was like, okay, so I wrapped up all the tools and set them by the back door there, and went back in, bullshitted with him some more, and got into a few great conversations about traveling and Montana and different types of meat, and what's your favorite steak, and what do you like to eat, and do you spend money at big fancy restaurants, or do you just go to McDonald's? And so it was a good conversation. He's a great guy, and he came back out here, he looked it over and said, well, you got to do this, you got to do that, and sure enough, that's what I did, and it worked out. So yeah, it's not the cleanest looking work, I'm not even an apprentice when it comes to metal, but I was able to get the ceilings out of this and the walls, and work with the metal. And for the first time in my life, I'd always been more of a textile, drywall kind of building guy. So this is a whole new experience for me, and like I said, not the cleanest cuts with the cut-off wheel, and grinding, and it skips and it gets all over the place, and I'm in fear for cutting off my digits more than you think, and I try to wear gloves and protection, but those machines are pretty gnarly, and a few thousand RPMs up against bone will slice right through like butter. So you definitely have to take it slow and be careful every step of the way, and if you're gonna lose it out of your hands, get away from it. So yeah, I'm starting to ramble. It's been a long day. I'm gonna enjoy this beer. Might have another one, I don't know. I might just end up jumping under the hose and getting clean again, and soaping up and rinsing off. And I got the AC thermostat rewired up into the ceiling, and you can't see the wires now, only where they come out, in my framing, of course. But yeah, I've got them all wire capped off and protected, and the sheath is, intact. And I got both of those wires going straight down into the bus panel, and in the bus bar, and a ground there, and I'm full understanding, a big understanding of how electrical works in the existing panel, as well as the panel we built. Probably more back there with the 120 volt, but the 12 volt end of things doesn't seem too difficult. But there's a huge rat's nest in there, so you don't want to pull anything unless you really know what you're looking at. And I may clean that up later, once I get more knowledge about the 12 volt system, because we're going to have to do AC, DC, and 12 volt most likely with our generator and the solar and everything. We'll have to make it all work in unison. So yeah, I got those wires hid right up there near the driver, and buried and tucked away, and the thermostat came back on luckily, and it blanked out on me because I had shorted something out, messing with the spotlight. And don't cross wires unless you know what you're looking at. Again, don't do it unless you know what you're doing, and do the research, ask the questions, try to find people like this who have a great knowledge about stuff. They're experts, but they know more than you know, being a rookie at it. And I came into this green, I lived in a bus, but I never built a bus. I've demoed houses and office buildings as a job before, and I never tore apart a bus. So it's all a big learning experience. I'm having a hell of a lot of fun doing it, even though it's dirty fun and it's sweaty and it's ridiculous. When you get rained on, you got to start moving tools around, and almost electrocute myself. I shocked myself a couple times already wiring switches. So you learn your lessons as you go, and you can really enjoy yourself doing this. But my suggestion, if you do want to do this kind of bus life and do conversion, which I would highly recommend over any RV, it just makes more sense. It's solid. If you're going to do this stuff, you've got to have time. And I'm grateful for Karen, my better half. she's holding down the financial end of things, and the breadwinner, and she's got a great career, and she was able to return right back to it without missing a beat, and she's going to replenish our account so we can continue on. We still need help. I still got the GoFundMe set up. I haven't received one donation yet, but I'm not sweating it. It is what it is, and we'll find a way. And like we are right now, we're finding ways to get through the hurdles, and we're coming up with just enough money to get the materials we need to finish the major components. The majority of the rest of the stuff is bought already and just needs to be installed or put in or whatever, or applied. And I'm sitting here staring at my Henrys and a big old 3-4 gallons of interior paint from our old house, and there's just so many things that still need to go in. But little by little, I've got a 4-page front and back, so 8 pages of checklist that was printed out that Karen made up for me in outline form with pretty much every component we could think of that we wanted, that we needed, that we had concerns about, questions, and I've crossed out probably 10 of them. 10 out of who knows, maybe 100, but 10 things crossed out is 10 major things to me. A lot of this stuff will be easy. Putting some carpentry in and windowsills, that's fun. I can turn the AC on and close all the windows and have the fans going, my music going, being here sanding and stuff like that. But cutting into metal, it's heavy duty, and it's not for the faint of heart. Definitely got to go at it like a ton of bricks and be wise in how you do things, and don't misuse your tools, and take precautions at every step of the way, and don't look away. And there's a lot of great advice there, but you take it for what it's worth. If you want to build a bus, dedicate the time, and you can create a dream on wheels, a dream home on wheels, I should say. So yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, it's still a mess in here. Yeah, the walls aren't in. Yeah, there's no IKEA or Amazon ordered things like you see all over the internet. We're doing this from the ground up, and trying to get creative as we can, and second-handing things, and there's a few new items in here, but yeah, we can't afford luxury, but we're gonna make it as luxurious as possible. So that's the end of my little talk. Let my beer get warm here. Cheers out there to my fellow schoolie dwellers and builders and people living in their RVs and vans and Priuses and box trucks and step vans and you name it. There's over 1 million people that have been that have reported to live in their vehicles of some kind of RV situation, even if it's a Prius, a little compact car, and stealth camping. There's over 1 million people that reported it. So can you imagine how many people are doing this that don't say anything, they just want to be left alone? So yeah, now is the time. The fire is hot, and I'm burning the candle at both ends trying to get this thing done, but soon enough, we're going to be out there living the good life, hanging out on a giant roof deck, collecting energy from the sun. On a cloudy day, crank up the generator and we're still good. Cooking in our full-size oven, standing up at a big sink, and to do your dishes with ultra hot water on demand, taking a nice long shower, out in the middle of nowhere, and just enjoying life. Finally, once and for all, being able to rest and relax and wake up with the sun and go to sleep with the moon and look at the stars at night and have time to sort life out and really explore what's the most meaningful. So yeah, that's utopia in my mind, and I'd like to really reach it. Perfection, you can't really just poof out of thin air and everything's perfect. It's really something you have to work for, and you'll never reach perfection. You'll never really see utopia. But the point is that you're reaching for it, and that you're trying to create a perfect life, and without many worries, because stress is a big killer, and so are these things, and so is a lot of things. So you do what you can, with the one life you got. Hopefully you'll reincarnate or come back as a butterfly or something really beautiful and carefree. But in this human life, in this existence, I'm going to enjoy myself. So yeah, Jeremy, signing off. Catch you on the next one. Deuces.